And now we begin with Liberia. Millions of Liberians will vote on Tuesday to elect a new president and legislators in the country's third election since the end of the civil war in 2003. Africa's first female president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, is stepping down after serving the constitutionally mandated limit, that is, 2 6-year terms in office. For a candidate to be declared winner, they must win at least 50% of the votes cast, +1. It will be the first time since 1944 that a democratically elected leader will hand over power to another elected leader in the country. 20 presidential candidates compete to get the support of the 2.2 million registered voters. They include Liberia's and indeed Africa's football icon, George Openware, and the country's vice president, Joseph Boakai.
The campaigns were largely peaceful, according to the country's electoral commission, but a few skirmishes between supporters of George Weah and Charles Bramskin were reported. The head of the EU Observers Mission, Maria Arenas, said that whoever the winner will be, the elections constitute a crucial test for the democratic process in Liberia. Analysts and civil society have warned that tensions could arise in the event that a candidate contests the results or if there will be a premature declaration of victory.
We now go to Monrovia, Liberia's capital, to join Africanews journalist Nii Akrofi Smart Abe, who is there to bring us a coverage of this election. Good morning, Nii. Nii, you have been in Monrovia since Saturday. Could you please describe the mood in the country ahead of Tuesday's, that is tomorrow's election?
Well, since Saturday, it's been different types of activities. For instance, on Saturday when we arrived, away from the airport, for instance, we ran straight into the final round of campaigning. Sunday, of course, was the official day for campaign to end, midnight Sunday, but we ran into a campaign, the last campaign by the Vice President Joseph Boakai, and then also one of the other candidates, Alexander Cummings, also had his final rally on Saturday. We were told that George Weah wrapped up his campaign on Friday, so it's been a mixture of activities between Sunday and this morning.
Nii, what is the security presence like in the country?
Well, the security has been out and about. I mean, of course, when you're driving through the streets of Monrovia, you will see some tents mounted with police written on it, and you see some of the police people also, some directing traffic, some just stationary at these tents, and some also just moving about. We've seen a few UN vehicles also since we came in, with the UN personnel also in there. So at least you can say security is fairly representative now. Of course, as I said earlier, probably because of the myriad of activities or the highs and the lows that we've had over the weekend, on Saturday where we had more activity than on Sunday where there wasn't that much. So Sunday you wouldn't see so much of a security presence, but Saturday actually did feature quite a lot.
Nii, what have you heard some of the voters say about the election and say of the candidates, especially for their hopes for the country, really?
Well, for the voters, it appears most of them have their minds made up. They know who they want as president, and also they know who they want as their representative. A few, though, have not made up their mind about who they want to be their representative, but certainly for the presidency, they know who they want. I spoke to a few voters earlier. Here's what they had to tell me.
From a community where we live, our living condition is not okay because the water is disturbed, or we live in a slum community. Yeah, and we need someone who can transform our, who can make a difference, especially for our representative, especially the president. Yeah, we need a change in our district and in our country.
From this election, I expect free result. I expect good leadership and good president as well. Yes, most especially when it comes to the representative, I expect them to bring good toilet and to color people to clean the community, because our community now Can't find no safe drinking water.
Yeah, like now, honestly, I can tell you for free. Every Liberian don't want anything bad. Everybody want good life. Everybody want to go back to work, go back to school, and do better things. So we need a free and fair election. Our country can move forward.
Just last week, there were reports of former leader Charles Taylor influencing the elections right from his prison facility in the UK. Nee, how big is the Taylor factor among the populace in Liberia?
Well, indeed, the issue about the leaked audio of Charles Taylor, so far I really haven't heard it being discussed that widely yet, and even those whom you saw earlier speaking to me about the expectations of the votes and everything, none of them actually did say anything about their former president Charles Taylor. So I guess probably it's not exactly as big an issue as it is here in Monrovia, as probably we those of us outside Liberia tend to see it.
Oh, well, Nee, what we do is only to report the news, and it's good generally to see Liberians very optimistic about the elections. I'm afraid we have to leave it at that. Thank you very much for bringing us that this morning. Nee Akrofi Smart Abe from Monrovia, Liberia.